Good morning. Welcome to the Kilachari Torah Halacha Review for Wednesday, January 13th. We're continuing our conversation about how properly to care for Sfarim, for Jewish holy books. It's permitted to place, what about making stacks of Sfarim? Can you put things on top of others? You're allowed to put a chumash on top of a nach, if you have a book with Navi, with prophets, or writings at Tehillim, and so on. You're allowed to put a chumash on top of that, but a nach should not be neviim and ksuvim. This is the latter parts of Tanakh, of the Bible, scriptures, should not be placed on top of a chumash. Neviim can be placed on ksuvim and vice versa. A sefer that's used to explain the chumash should not be put on top of the chumash. So if you have, let's say you're reading through Rabbi Sax's book on the Parsha, leadership, whatever it is, you should put that, if you're making a stack, you should put that underneath the stone chumash. Some poskim say the chumash should not be printed together with a nach because the pages of nach will sometimes be on top of the chumash. However, we do that, obviously, when they put the haftorahs in there. So there you have it. Torah Shebal Peh should not be placed on Torah Shebechsav. Written Torah goes on top of oral Torah, even though the oral Torah is also printed in our days. So you have a chumash and a mishnah. The mishnah or the Gemara goes underneath the chumash and the stack, showing proper respect, precedence for the written Torah, for the chumash. Many people are unaware that a siddur may not be placed on top of a chumash. He says in the name of Shevet Hakahasi. I'm not familiar with that sefer, but that's what he says. I'm not sure if this author of this sefer did an extensive study of people putting a siddur on top of a chumash, or if that's just mentioning that as the source for halacha. But it is true, we should not put a siddur on top of a chumash. Special care should be taken to avoid this practice, says Rabbi Belsky. You can put a Tehillim on top of a siddur. Tehillim obviously is from Tanakh, and that can go on top of a siddur. You can place Torah Shebal Peh on top of Torah Shebal Peh. So if you have Acharonim, you have a later commentary on the Talmud, you can put that on top of a Talmud volume. Some poskim say that you can also place a siddur with psukim on it on top of a Gemara. So our siddur could be placed on top of a volume of Talmud. One who's collecting Sfarim in order to put them away does not have to be particular about these rules of placement if it's too difficult. So as we said before the other day, the Bacher who's going around yeshiva with a cart to pick up all the Sfarim that people have left lying around, they ran to the shelf to get something to look up and they left it at their place. When he's picking them up, putting them on his cart, does not need to be sure to be careful about such placement. However, I've seen these Bacherim and they are actually careful about it. They make a stack of Siddurim, a stack of Chumashim, and so on. A sefer written in both Hebrew and English has the same status as a sefer written completely in Hebrew, so don't worry about that. Okay, one or two more. One should not use a sefer to save a seat. Don't put a sefer, a chumash or a siddur, on a chair to reserve a seat unless you intend to make use of that sefer. If you're going to learn from it, daven from it, that is a different story. Many people are accustomed to use a siddur to kiss the Sefer Torah. Some say to avoid this, but as of course we see from widespread practice, many people in fact do use the siddur to reach out and kiss the Sefer Torah. You're allowed to use your hand. In better times we could do it directly. You'll see many people do that also. Hopefully soon all these health concerns will pass. Everybody will enjoy abundant good health. We won't have to worry about masking and handshaking and hugging and all those things that we like to do that make life nice. So we're looking forward to those days sooner rather than later. Have a good day. Please join us again tomorrow.